The Alpha Sessions.
Hi everyone, welcome to Alpha Sessions. Today we have the lovely Kelly Cresswell with us. Hi Kelly, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah,
Good.
having a nice evening up to now in my little den. Yeah,
love the studio there. Love it. So I just want to dive in and ask you, can you describe your musical style to us?
It's a little bit alternative, but I'd say more like folky, really. Like folk with funk potentially.
Yeah.
That's what I'm aiming towards anyway with the style of music that I'm wanting to produce.
Yeah, I think your voice has like got a really nice soul element to it as well. If you don't mind me saying.
No, that's another element. It's really, I've got quite a versatile voice, so I can kind of get it to kind of do whatever style I want, really. But yeah, that's how I'd style myself, kind of folky, singer-songwriter, kind of acoustic, generally that kind of thing. But yeah, not quite sure yet.
Yeah,
very new to all this.
Well, I was going to say, you've been songwriting for, what is it, about a year or so? Just over a year?
I think like April time last year, I started like actually putting pen to paper and actually thinking about writing songs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always been there, but I've never really done anything with it.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, what's been like, what started you on that journey? What's your process like? What made you decide to just go for it now?
It was kind of when I hit 40, I felt like I'd wasted my musical talent really for singing. I thought I'd kind of wasted it for a number of years. I did sing a bit when I was younger, in my 20s, but only like pubs and social clubs and stuff like that. But so I just kind of was busy being a mum and being a nurse and just getting on with life. And then all this stuff happened in the world and lockdown kicked in, and I thought, right, I think I'll buy a guitar. And it kind of, went from there, really.
Yeah. So what is your songwriting process like?
Generally, it kind of comes at the same time. I don't write words and lyrics separately. It happens at the same time. And it'll tend to just be like a chord progression that I'll play over and over and think, right, well, and then fitting my lyrics into it. But it's usually quite from the heart what I create, really. I'm not really into just putting words down. It's usually, it means something to me, or it's something I've been through, or a person that I know has been through, or, something like that, really. But quite hard to say, because it just has all come together really quickly, and I just feel like I've been able, I don't know, something's woken up in me, and I've been able to start writing good songs for some reason. I don't know.
So does inspiration come to you just like daily, or do you kind of like set aside time to do it?
Usually it's kind of, I'm making kind of mental notes of things, and this is a godsend because I use notes a lot. I can be lying in my bed at night, I can be on my break at work, it's just little phrases that might come to me. I'll just keep them in me, written down somewhere, and eventually it but I don't kind of get loads of ideas for bits. It's kind of like usually I sit and I start writing and it comes together quite quickly. So I'm really quite lucky. Really, that I've found that I can do this. It's amazing.
Maybe because it's been like bubbling up for such a long time, and it's just it's all coming out, which is great.
That's exactly what it is. And I felt like when I started songwriting, it was like therapy for me. It was stuff that I'd kind of held on to for a long time, and things that I wanted to kind of, I don't know, process somehow, maybe. And that was a way to do it, really. So a lot of the stuff from early on is like still really good songs, but maybe not particularly do anything with them. They were like a form of getting it off my head, if you know what I mean.
Getting it out. So your debut single, Try, I love that song. Can you tell us what it's about?
It's it was the first song I wrote. And
is it really literally the first song you wrote?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I wrote it thinking that I wanted it to be piano based, to be honest. but it kind of developed quickly. Well, I'll tell you the story. But yeah, it's about my mum, because I lost my mum in 2006, so I was quite young really, and it's about how I have to like live without her, and trying to kind of keep my head together and keep life going, and I just miss her terribly still. You know, and that was a long time ago, so that's the basis of the song, but I think it can be interpreted however anyone wants really. Whatever it means to you is going to be different to somebody else. I think it's, yeah, but that's what it's about.
Yeah. No, I think it's really true what you're saying, like you can interpret it in different ways, because I wasn't sure if it was I felt it was like a kind of partner or like a lover or something that had gone, but then I watched the sorry, go on.
I was going to say, but
I watched the video and then I realised, what was it like shooting that video? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I was cringing a lot. Never done anything like that. I'd not even had like a photo session or anything. All I've had is me in this room with a camera in front of me for over a year.
Yeah.
So to go and do that with, I mean, obviously Colin was there because he's produced the track with me, and there was just my friend Mark. He filmed it all. So it was just a bit, I was kind of like just stood there with my arms, and he was going, Kelly, you can move, you know, you can move your arms, it's fine. Because I'm a very expressive person, I always am. But then when the camera was on me, I was just like, oh no, I just feel so embarrassed. But after a few goes at it and just thought, I'll just try and do my best really. But yeah, it was good though, I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I think it's great you've got a video for your first song. Did you come up with the concept, or did you like contribute towards it?
But really, what I said to Mark was I wanted it to be kind of very, I wanted it to be black and white. I wanted it to be quite mellow and just based within a small area. I'm focusing on the kind of the album that I was, you know, moving the pages, because that's what the song's about really. They were all photographs of my mum when growing up and us as a family and stuff. So it was kind of just wanted that theme really, because it's not a happy-go-lucky taxi around kind of song. It's quite a meaningful song. So, but yeah, I don't think Colin was super impressed because he was getting filmed from down there, you know what I mean? He was like not happy about it. He was like, I look like I've got 3 chins. I was going, no, just it has to stick, Colin. Just, it's fine.
Just go with it.
Yeah, just go with it. It'll be fine. So,
did you feel when you were like flicking through the album in the video, did you feel quite vulnerable? And not just in that moment, but kind of putting out a song like that, did it make you feel quite vulnerable?
A little bit. A lot of the music that I make can make me feel quite vulnerable. I'm quite open about talking about subjects that people struggle to talk about. A lot of the music that I write is based around me and the problems I've had with mental health and my confidence and my esteem. And so to me, that's like liquid gold. I can just, I don't know, it's just, to me, it's how I communicate with the world now. So I've just got an outlet for it now.
Does it feel like once you start doing it, you feel a bit less vulnerable, or do you kind of manage it in a different way?
I was actually texting one of my friends yesterday about this, and I said, to me, I'd rather lay it all out there for everyone to see that I'm normal. I have issues.
Who doesn't?
I'm never going to be this fluffy thing where everything's perfect, because that's not real life. And I think had I done this 20 years ago, I would have been in a very different state of mind and at a very different stage in my life, obviously. But at being over 40, I just thought, well, there's lots of people out there who need something to kind of go, oh, right, so you can do that, but you're actually still a bit vulnerable. And I want people to understand that, you know, if you put your mind to something and try hard enough, you can do it. You know what I mean? So it's just, I want to try and connect with people and with my music really, but don't know whether I will, but, you know.
I think you will. What does it feel like kind of coming to it a little bit later? What do you feel like you're bringing that's extra that someone maybe in their 20s and 30s couldn't bring? What are the real advantages and benefits of doing it now?
For me, it's kind of, I've got, even though I struggle with my confidence a bit, I've been just a bit older, just makes you a little bit more, well, what's the worst that'll happen?
Yeah.
Loads of battle scars all over me. Do you know what I mean? What's the worst that will happen? So it's given me a kind of drive to just put it out there, really.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, I don't know, I think heartache, life experience, all those kind of things are great songwriting material. And I didn't have that back in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I can connect with people with my music, really, is that it means something, usually.
Yeah.
Slip off your tighty, get into something a bit more comfortable. I wanna sing a song. Life gets so busy, no one takes time to ask us how we are, or even you. But you can't really plan your future. It's written when you're born. Oh, we only ride the roller coaster. I'm glad I'm not alone. And I said, hey, I would love to be in orbit with you, baby. Yeah, we could sit and laugh while everyone goes crazier and crazier and crazier. I just can't breathe here. My dreams take me places that I long to go. I'm never far away. Won't you come with me? We'll see the city lights and put on a show. Wait for the band to play. You can't really plan your future. It's written when you're born. Yeah, we only ride the roller coaster. I'm glad I'm not alone. And I said, hey, I would love to be in orbit with you, baby. Yeah, we could sit and laugh while everyone goes crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier.
The Alpha Sessions.
You play guitar and the piano. Have you always played those instruments, or have you learnt them recently?
Well, when I was a child, I had proper piano lessons with a lovely fella called Paul Delaney. He's an amazing organist. He's fantastic, really, really good. So I had those, but I struggled with sight reading. I couldn't sight read for toffee. I was just horrendous at it, and I used to go to pieces in the exams and everything. So I only ever got to grade 2 and I didn't have a piano. So I used to go to a school near me to go and practice. So it was just like lots of things were against me. So I just gave it up. And then the only reason I've been able to get any instruments or any of the things that I've got is we had a death in the family, and we were left some money, and I thought, right, I'm going to do something with this now rather than just fritter it on holidays and rubbish, which we've not been able to do.
Yeah.
So I thought,
future holidays.
But I got my guitar, like, I think it was early 2020, and just had it kind of looking pretty, not really doing it with it. But it was kind of once we went into this lockdown situation, I thought, right, well, I'm going to try and learn this a little bit. I've only had, I just taught myself. So, and I don't profess to be a brilliant guitarist or a brilliant keyboard player. And that's why I kind of reach out to other musicians, and I'm not embarrassed to do so.
No, of course not.
Lots of people are, and they won't say, oh, I can't do this, or, I'll just like, this is what it needs. Can you help me?
Yeah.
So, so it's only really a year.
Yeah.
Where I've took it up again and actually just started trying to teach myself, really.
Yeah. And so when you're songwriting, do you use the guitar or piano, or is it kind of
Both.
like, right,
Both.
okay.
Really, it depends on what I'm kind of working on. But I've found my songwriting has got a lot easier since having a piano.
Yeah.
Me understanding and theory, obviously from when I was very young, came back to me, and understanding how chords are made up, and but with the guitar I'm quite limited in what I can do. I want some lessons,
right?
So hopefully I'm going to be able to start having some soon, and now hopefully things are going to open up a bit better. But yeah, that's it. That's all I use, really. But yeah, that's enough. It creates decent music. So
yeah, definitely. And going back to the music for a second, you also released a song called That Summer that you did in collaboration with Cole Guthrie. So I wanted to ask, did you write that with him, or did you write it and then he collaborated with you in playing?
Yeah, I wrote it. I actually made that track mainly on my own. I recorded all my own vocals and everything. But Cole has got a really good ear for mixing, which I don't have, and I don't have the understanding yet to be able to use it in that way. I can put a song together using Logic, but the rest of it. But I definitely wanted guitar, kind of acoustic guitar threaded through the song, really. So he ditched his electric guitar for a little while, which is very rare.
Yeah.
Picked up my little Epiphone and he recorded, and the lovely, it's got a beautiful little guitar solo at the end.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I haven't kind of pushed that or, released it anywhere else. I've just put it on Bandcamp, and I thought, at least if people hear one, they can have a little listen to the other.
Yeah.
And see what they think.
Yeah. Would you ever think of songwriting with someone, or would you just kind of...
Me and Cole are potentially going to do that. He writes instrumental music and plays instrumental guitar music, you see, which I think is a bit of a tougher crowd to kind of get it out there and get people to listen to it. So he sent me a MP3 recently called Flight, and that's what I'm going to try and write some lyrics for. The basis of the melody and everything's there, obviously, because it's on guitar. So I don't know how
exciting though.
Whether it's going to work, it might not work, but I'm going to work with Cole because we get on really well, and he's able to help me with trying to learn about creating the music and getting it, because that'd be ideal if I could do it myself and just send it away to be mixed or mastered. But he's got a really good ear for side of things and knows tons more than what I would ever know. So. And
how did you meet each other?
Oh, it's weird. We only met about 4 months ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm part of a community record label that started up this year in our hometown called Loose Community Records. There's a lot of talent in this area, absolutely tons of it, and we just wanted to get something together for to kind of assist artists. I was one of them that needed lots of assistance. And we've put out 2 compilation albums up to now, each with 5 songs on. So that's how I met him, through a Zoom meeting. We would have in Zoom meetings like every Sunday. People were sending in the tracks, we were listening to them, discussing them, seeing what we could do to help them, all that kind of stuff. And I'd been doing this for a while, and then Col got invited by one of my friends, and we just, you know, and you just like gel with somebody straight away, but it just worked straight away. And we, for ages, for about a month, we were having to do everything virtually, sending everything back and to, and he was having to try and teach me how to do all that stuff, because all that was new to me. You know, all of this is all really new to me.
Yeah.
So I'd created a track of Try myself, and I was like, it needs something. And I thought, right, it's either a piano or a guitar solo. So I think I've never even heard him play, didn't even know if he could play. So he said, oh, I'll do a guitar solo for that. I went, right, okay, sent it to him. He sent it back to me about 4 days later, and it sounded like that.
It's so good, isn't it?
I was just going, oh my God, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's like you've read my mind. So what's left from what I actually recorded and put together is all my vocals, my backing vocals, I did that, and the brass that's in it.
Right.
But the rest of it, bass, guitar, mixing, all that, Col did. So it was just amazing, you know, and then we've done the same with that summer. So, you know, it's just worked. So I'm just really lucky that we met, really.
And it's great to have that support, especially like being new to things, and just knowing that you're kind of, you know, part of that community, and you've got people that you can reach out to, and people that obviously, like, he's really must be like obviously happy to work with you as well. So it's a win-win, as they say.
Exactly. I mean, the place that I started at this place called The Studio in Widnes, which is like a community music arts centre. And, you know, they've been badly hit by what's happened, but they've done most things online. But they have really supported me in going from not even speaking on a camera and just, you know, uploading a video of me with singing to Facebook, to now within, you know, a year they've released a song. So it's just, I wouldn't have been able to do that without the encouragement from them in the early days when I was terrified.
And as you mentioned, you're from Widnes. What is the music scene there like? You mentioned that like there's lots of different artists, but in terms of like going to gigs and like the live music scene, I mean, now everything's opening up, but does it feel quite vibrant?
Yeah, it always was, but I think it's difficult for me really, because I went from doing a bit of music in my early 20s to doing nothing, and I didn't really we were bringing up a kid, we're quite you know, private people. You wouldn't think it now looking at my social media, but you know, that I wasn't kind of going out and going to gigs and stuff. I was just being a mum and just you know, doing what you do. And so I know that there's a lot of talent. We've got some seriously talented artists living quite close to me, do you know what I mean? But I think a lot of them have got really quite disheartened by what's happening, and probably not got the same drive that they did have, because you know, they're not seen as important anymore, are they? Do you know what I mean? It's been really difficult. Well, there's a couple, you know, that have really helped me. A lot of me, you know, that have really, really helped me, and I couldn't have done any of this without them, really. Yeah. So, but you've got Liverpool down the road, got tons of venues. Warrington's got a lot of music venues. Widnes has. Just starting to open up again now. So, but I did my first ever gig ever on the 30th of May at a pub called the Snig in Widnes.
And how did that go? I was going to ask you about gigs, because you've done quite a few online gigs, haven't you?
That's all I've done. That's all I've done.
What was it like? What was it like going back into like the real world and doing it? How did you find it?
Because when I sang when I was in my 20s, I was in a female trio, 3 friends, just singing. No instruments, no nothing. So I'd not done anything for years, and then all I'd done is sung into a camera. And then this promoter just said, I got in touch with him because I was like, I don't know where to start to get gigs and stuff. And he said, well, we've got an opener for a new music event if you want. Why don't you do that? I thought, oh, okay. And then as I was seeing the promotional material that was coming through and that, there was like over 100 people and like these really, really well-known bands and stuff that could travel down from Scotland and everything. Yeah, and then I was terrified. But it went okay. For me first time ever. You know, I don't do things by halves. I couldn't just go and sing in a pub to a man and a dog. That's have like 100 people all having a great time. So,
but the thing is, like, now you've done it once, you know, you can do it again.
I hope so. I want to I just need to work on kind of getting a good set together, really.
Yeah.
And the difficulty I've got is because I don't kind of fit in anywhere, because the promoters are quite, you know, they're quite young acts that they promote and bands and things. So it's like, I don't know if I fit in. But there's got to be promoters out there who would, you know, be willing to work with me. It's just,
well, there must be.
I know. Well, it's just finding the right people, really. And I think once I kind of get comfortable with a good set and I can, you know, hold myself well enough, then I don't know, we'll see. But
yeah, but now things are opening up, it would be great if you can like carry on doing gigs and just,
I'd love it.
Great.
And it's just even if, you know, one every other weekend or something, it's just something to, because that's the only way you're going to get good at it, is if you do it.
We were making progress, you know. Oh yeah, we'd started to say hello. Me and my baggiest jeans. Oh, it almost felt like a dream. Nobody knew I was there, but I didn't really care, 'cause I had my eyes on you, and daydreaming about what we would do. Oh, that summer. Yeah, that summer when all you felt was me. I took a trip and fell into your sea, and you fell into me. Oh, that summer. Yeah, that summer when all you felt was me. I took a trip and fell into your sea, and you fell into me. Oh, my light never shone too bright, 'cause there wasn't a spark to ignite. So I trudged along behind all the cool kids who stood in the line. I had a face for the radio, eyes with a sparkle or glow, but you saw right through all that stuff, and you made me feel like I was enough. Oh, that summer. Yeah, that summer when all you felt was me, I took a trip and fell into your sea, and you fell into me. Oh, that summer, yeah, that summer when all you felt was me, I took a trip and fell into your sea, and you fell into me.
The Alpha Sessions.
I also wanted to ask you, how do you manage to fit everything in? Because you're a nurse by day and also maybe by night, and you also deal with a chronic pain condition. How are you, I don't know, do you want to like talk to us about like how you manage to fit everything in and how you manage to deal with that chronic pain condition as well as having a family, a job and a music career?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Sometimes that I know I've overdone it. I mean, it's just going to shut down and everything just, I can't function, I can't speak. I have to just lie on my bed. That's when I need lots of meds and things like that. I know it's hard to believe it, to look at me, and I understand that. But I've been suffering with this condition for nearly 14 years. So it's sink or swim. You either learn to deal with it or you go under. So yeah, time-wise it's tricky. I should be resting more than what I am, and I am doing too much, and I know that. But the momentum kind of keeps me going.
Yeah.
It's it's a condition it's pretty nasty, really. It affects your pelvis and your pelvic floor muscles. So I have chronic pain within my pelvic floor and all around my coccyx. So I can't sit. I've spent many years just standing up.
Is your back not then hurt from standing? Yeah, because one thing impacts the other, I guess.
So I have a lot of, I mean, it's just daily. It's never ever goes away. I never get a break from it. The only time I get a break is when I sleep. And I think if I didn't get a break when I slept, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. There's just no way.
You wouldn't be able to function, would you?
No. So yeah, it's called pudendal neuralgia, and it took me 8 years of seeing that many different doctors and getting no answers. And
it's just something that's not really discussed or talked about. I feel like I'm just like talking about like from an external point of view, because like see it because I don't have it, but it feels like with people like Lady Gaga, for example, or other people who are bringing it, who have like more of like a public forum, they're talking about it more. And then I think like understanding is growing, but I don't think we're there really enough, because like you were saying, to look at me you wouldn't think it, but that's like such a stereotypical view that people have, that if you're in pain you must be like doubled up and like stuck in bed, but it's not like that, is it?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I know people who are in that situation. You know, and I know people who are suffering more than I am, but it's all relative. I think pain in any part of your body all day is just mentally draining, physically draining and mentally draining, and probably quite boring to live with from a family point of view. It's like, how many years can you say I'm in pain and I'm not feeling good and I can't cope with this, I need to go and lie down? It's like people get bored of it, you know, and I understand that, but it is a difficult thing to live with. The job that I do is difficult enough anyway, being a nurse, but I'm on my feet all day. So it's a blessing in a way, because I'm in pain when I sit, but as well, that's really tiring, because I can't just, like, anyone could just go and sit in a chair and go, oh, have a rest. No, that's like excruciating pain for me. So it's, you know, it affects you. You can't go to theatres, you can't fly on planes, you know, you can't, I can't just go and sit on the plane and go on a long haul flight. I just can't do it. or I'm up and I'm rocking around and then everybody's looking at me and you feel embarrassed, but you're like, well, I can't sit down. So, and I'm going on holiday, whether you like it or not. So yeah, it's a hard one. And obviously, if you're in pain all the time, mentally, that can have a massive effect on you. And I live with depression, up and down, you know, it's something that is just part of me now. That's, I can't take it away because I'm stuck like this all the time. So yeah.
Can I ask you like a silly question? Like when you're with your family in the evening, like normally you'd think, oh, people will like might sit around or like literally like sit around, have a chat, watch the TV, sit out in the garden. What is your family life like in that way?
So I have to either lie down, or if I do sit, I have to sit on a special cushion.
Right.
I can't like sit outside with the family for long and sit and have a barbecue and enjoy a drink, and because I have to get up and I have to, if you know, I can't stay still.
Yeah.
I just can't stay still. And that's a coping mechanism. It's kind of, it takes my head away from the pain. If I'm moving, it experiences something different. The body. So yeah, lots of things that everyone takes for granted, even going out with your mates and sitting in a pub or going out for a meal, or it's really quite cruel in that way, because all the things that you get pleasure out of in life have been taken away from me. But now I've got something that keeps me alive and feeds me a little bit. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword, really. But yeah, it's difficult. It's a hard thing to live with. Yeah.
Do you feel like through your music you're trying to like, you're hoping to like raise more awareness? How do you feel like that's going to kind of come into it?
It will, because I've already written a song called Let's Hear It for the Warriors. And that's about that's, you know, people with chronic pain are warriors. There's just no two ways about it. You have to be. And I wrote that song quite early on last year when I first started songwriting. And I'm part of a Facebook group, a support group called Pudendal Neuralgia and Pelvic Pain Support. And I actually had the guts to record myself singing this song and put it on the group. And I got a really good response from it. And they were like, you need to be an advocate for us. And, you know, so that I do want to release that song, but it's got to get a good grounding yet first of other music, so that people can understand. I don't feel quite ready to do that yet, but I have got a plan to do that, and it will be an anthem.
Yeah, that sounds
hear it already.
Yeah. And like as you carry on gigging throughout the year, and like, you know, your profile increases, then you're just going to have so much of a more bigger audience to share that awareness with.
That's the thing. And that's why I only joined Twitter about a month. No, in March I joined Twitter, much to my annoyance, because I didn't like Twitter. I was very anti-Twitter. But one of my friends said to me, Paul, Facebook's great, but it's just a little pat on the back. If you want to get yourself out there, you need to send your music to radio stations. You need to get into playlists. You need to network. Because you can't do that on Facebook. And he was right. So I've been just ridiculously addicted to Twitter for ages, making connections, getting followers, you know, and that is a way for me in the future to get awareness for the condition that we live it with. Because there's a friend of mine called Marion Jones, and she runs the Pudendal Neuralgia support group, and she campaigns day in, day out for the medical profession to learn about this condition. You know, when you think there's obstetricians, gynecologists out there, colorectal surgeon, they don't even acknowledge that this condition is real. Wow. And you know, there's countless men and women out there suffering with pain in the most horrendous part of your body that you could even think to have it. And the thing is, there's no treatment for this that will make it better. Sadly, when the damage is done, it's done. Once the nerve is damaged or stretched or whatever. So it's, she's also a big supporter of mine on Twitter, and in the future I want to kind of make connections more and try and get awareness, really. But I'm just laying the groundwork at the moment with the music side of things first, you see.
So what are the plans for the rest of the year then? Are you going to carry on songwriting, and what have you got, like some new releases coming up?
Yeah, well, I've already got my next one ready. That's recorded and ready. And it's completely different to try. It's called Green Light. And I wrote the song about when we were in lockdown and I was going back to work, and when the roads were deserted. So I remember driving home from work one night, like nobody on the roads, and every single light was green, literally every single light. And just something inside me went, right, let's do this. Let's do it, because what's the worst that will happen? Because until then I was kind of just like, should I start recording things? Am I good enough? Do people want to hear it? Or, stupid.
All those voices, all the negativity
that you'd have to stop listening to. And that was the inspiration for the song, and it's very uplifting. It's very happy song. It's a very happy song, and it's about my brave kind of move into trying to be a musician. So,
I'm excited to hear that. I think I'm really excited to see how the rest of your journey carries on, and really excited for you.
But it's
of course it will. You've done amazing things so far, definitely. Sorry, go on.
I'm just going to say, just shameless plug, it's getting released on the 6th of August.
Okay.
So just so that people are aware.
Perfect.
And I was doing a music video, which I'm starting
excellent
tomorrow.
That's exciting. Another video. That's great.
Yeah, well,
that's great.
Thing is, I inherited this money. I'm going to use this money to do things as well as I can. Rather than trying to, I just think I want to make an impact, and I want people to see. Do you know what I mean? And it's probably quite needy, but I just think the music that I've got can send a good message to people. So that's why I'm pursuing it, really.
Definitely. And how can people follow you? Do you want to give us your socials? Where can we get your music from?
So I'm on all streaming platforms now. So Spotify, iTunes. Make sure you spell my name right. That's the only thing, or you won't find me, because I'm still quite small fry. So I've got Bandcamp as well. I'm on Instagram. Find me, send me a follow request if you want to. I put a lot of videos up there of me doing like virtual performances and things like that. So
all under your name, Kelly Cresswell, right?
Yeah. Okay. And I've got a YouTube channel. I think I've got 38 subscribers, so any new subs would be marvelous.
So you're across everything. There's lots of different ways that people can listen
Facebook,
to you.
Insta, all the socials, I'm there. Twitter, find me on Twitter. I love Twitter now. It's my fave.
Day and night. Oh, it's so great to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time. I'm really excited to see what the rest of this year holds for you.
Me too. It's all very exciting. And, I'm glad I reached out to you, because I'm not afraid to reach out to people. And I've knocked on a lot of doors and sent a lot of emails. And it's the only way that kind of you show people what you can do. Yeah. So. This is the last one I'm going to show you for today. This is called Wearing My Sun Hat in the Rain, and it's something I wrote after feeling particularly hormonal and irritable, basically. So enjoy. I think it's gonna be one of those days. My hair's tied back and I'm walking in a maze. I'm so wound up, I feel like a coiled spring.
forgetting everything. Don't understand why I get like this, like I'm feeling swallowed up inside. To get out of my mind would feel like bliss, but I'll just hold on and I'll take the ride. Yeah, I'm upside down and inside out again, trying to become my own best friend, taking happy pills to keep me sane. Yeah, my head's bowed down and pretending it's alright, meditating so I can sleep at night, wearing my sun hat in the rain. Struggling to keep my own self company. I feel like a burden to myself, and I can understand if you don't wanna hang with me, 'cause baby, I'm a hazard to your health. Don't understand why I get like this, like I'm feeling swallowed up inside. To get out of my mind would feel like bliss, but I'll just hold on and take the ride. Yeah, I'm upside down and inside out again, trying to become my own best friend, taking happy pills to keep me sane. Oh, my head's bowed down but pretending it's alright, meditating so I can sleep at night, wearing my sun hat in the rain. Take me out of my head, replace me with someone else instead. Oh, take me out of my head, so I'll wake up on the right side of the bed. Upside down and inside out again, trying to become my own best friend, taking happy pills to keep me sane. Oh, my head's bowed down but pretending it's alright, meditating so I can sleep at night, wearing my sun hat